The roar of the subway drowned out my voice as I screamed her name. One slip of her tiny paws, and Scarlet was gone, swallowed by the tunnels of New York City. Crowds pushed past me, trains screeched, and all I could see was the dark where she had vanished. I dropped to my knees, shaking, knowing no one survives down there. But what happened next was something I'll never forget. My name is Olivia Martinez. I live in Queens, New York, and for the last 3 years, my cat Scarlet has been my entire world. She's not just a pet. She's my comfort, my heartbeat when the world feels too loud. On that ordinary Thursday, we were headed to the vet for her checkup. The subway was packed, and I held her carrier tight against me. I had no idea how quickly my life would unravel. We were standing on the platform when Scarlet let out a nervous meow. A loud train blasted past, and she squirmed harder than ever before. Before I could react, the latch snapped open. Scarlet bolted, her fur a blur of orange and white. And then she leapt down into the tracks. "No!" I screamed, my voice lost in the chaos. Commuters gasped, pointing toward the tunnel. I dropped to my knees at the platform edge, scanning the shadows. All I saw was darkness and the flicker of Scarlet's tail before she disappeared. It felt like someone had ripped the air from my lungs. I begged the MTA staff to stop the trains, to search the tunnels. They shook their heads. Too dangerous, too risky, too vast. Tears blurred my eyes as I clutched Scarlet's empty carrier. "She won't survive down there," I whispered. But rules didn't bend for one cat. News of Scarlet's disappearance spread faster than I expected. A commuter filmed my cries and posted online. "Cat lost in Queens subway." By the time I got home, hundreds of strangers were sharing her photo. Some left kind words, others offered to search. For the first time that night, I felt hope. The next morning, I returned with volunteers. We combed the platforms, rattled food bowls, called her name into the tunnels. The smell of steel and dust filled my lungs. Every shadow looked like her, until it wasn't. Hours passed, but Scarlet was nowhere. Days turned into nights. People I had never met, college kids, office workers, mothers with strollers, stayed out searching. Flyers covered lampposts, "Missing cat, Scarlet." The city that had swallowed her was now helping me fight to get her back. It was New York against the tunnels. On the 4th night, I saw her. Her glowing eyes flashed deep in the tunnel, just beyond reach. I called her name, my voice cracking. She meowed, soft, trembling, terrified. And then she vanished again, the train's roar swallowing her cry. I collapsed onto the platform floor, clutching her blanket. How do I save her? I whispered to the cold tiles. Exhaustion burned in my bones, my body begged to give up. But every time I closed my eyes, I saw Scarlet's face. I couldn't let her story end underground. One volunteer, a subway worker named Marcus, had an idea. He set up a humane trap near the tracks where she'd been seen. Inside, we placed her favorite food and her blanket. Cameras were set to monitor movement. All we could do was wait. That night, I didn't sleep. Every vibration of the train rattled through me like thunder. On my phone, I refreshed the feed from the camera again and again. Then, just before dawn, I saw it. Scarlet, creeping toward the trap. She sniffed the food, trembling, her tiny paws hesitant. 1 step, 2 steps inside the trap. The door swung shut with a click. I gasped so hard my chest hurt. She was safe. When I arrived, volunteers were already cheering. Marcus carried the trap gently toward me, Scarlet's wide eyes staring out. I opened it slowly, tears streaming down my face. She leapt into my arms, her fur warm, her body shaking. "Scarlet, you came back to me." Within hours, the story spread across social media. Scarlet the subway cat found alive. Millions watched the footage, cheering for the strangers who didn't give up. People wrote, "Only in New York would a city save a cat like this." Scarlet became more than my cat. She became everyone's miracle. People still ask me, how did she survive underground for 6 days? I don't know. Maybe resilience, maybe luck. But I know this. She taught me that even in a city of millions, kindness can find you. Scarlet was lost in the shadows, but she was returned to me in the light of love. Some heroes have badges. Some carry tools. This time, it was a city full of strangers who refused to give up on one cat. If this story moved you, you're not alone. At Loyal Voice, we bring you emotional, powerful tales that deserve to be heard. Like, comment, and subscribe, and never miss the next miracle.